Hello everyone, welcome to Sarah's Stitchery. My name is Sarah and this is my channel where I talk all about my cross stitch journey. Today is Flosstube episode 39. It is Sunday, July 13th. Thank you so much for joining me today. I am back just a week after you saw me last. I did film a whip parade last weekend and I appreciate everyone who took the time to watch that. It was a little bit of a long video, but I appreciate you spending any amount of time with me and just coming and seeing what I've been up to. Thank you to all of the new subscribers that have joined my channel, and thank you to everyone who subscribes, whether you're new or whether you've been around for a while. I appreciate your support. I appreciate all the likes and the comments on my video. It makes it worth the time and the effort to do it, so thank you. Today I have a fully finish for you. I have a new start, I have a restart, I have some whips. I have been stitching away. If you've been here before, you know I'm a teacher, so I'm off for the summer, and so I've had lots of time to stitch. My husband and I didn't go anywhere for vacation this year. I've mentioned in previous videos that he had surgery at the beginning of the summer, so I do appreciate everybody for sending the well wishes. For those of you who have been keeping up with that, my husband is out of the neck brace. He has returned to somewhat normal activity. He's a little upset that he still is not allowed to golf until like next year. He can't lift anything over 10 pounds. So, you know, he's still limited on the things he can do, but he can drive. So that's been nice. I was feeling like a chauffeur for a little bit there. So he is on the mend. He's out of the neck brace. So we're moving forward. His healing is going nicely. So thank you again for everybody who has, like I said, sent well wishes and asked about his recovery. Let's see, since I spoke to you last, you know, in my last regular update, I did attend another retreat. I went to Stitchtopia, which was hosted by Craft Gallery up in Findlay, Ohio. I went with a few of my friends, and it was so different because I went to StitchCon earlier in June. If you know StitchCon, you know it's huge, it's exciting, it's, you know, it's a lot in a good way. Stitchtopia was the opposite in that it was small, cozy, you know, so it was nice going from a big, exciting, you know, always something going on to this more relaxed, cozy, like I said, cozy retreat. It was put on by Christy and Sarah of Craft Gallery. It was their first retreat. They did a fantastic job. I was very, very pleased with everything. The retreat was at the hotel where we were staying, so it was nice. You just got up in the morning, got yourself ready, went downstairs, and there it was. All of our meals were provided for us. That was fantastic. They went all in on like a summer, like Hawaiian vibe. It was really fun. And, you know, I met some great new people, and it was just relaxing. And I really appreciated that about it. So I had a really fun time there. Yeah, so other than that, I mean, I went to the retreat, and other than that, I've been home chilling out. My brother-in-law came to visit for a little while. He's a teacher in New Jersey, so he always comes to see us, and so he was here all of last week. And so it's just been, like I said, a relaxing summer, and I have been stitching away. So let's get to the stitching. That's what you're here for. Let's start with a fully finish. I believe I showed my finish on my last video, if I'm remembering correctly. So now this is a fully finish. Oh, I should have brought the pattern over. I think I put it away. So the pattern I'm speaking about is Autumn Posy by Plum Street Samplers. I do have a picture on my Instagram. If you want to follow me on Instagram, if you haven't already, my Instagram is at Stitchy Sarah Reads. I'll have it down below. So anyway, I decided to take that color palette and make it summer. So here is, I have to be careful because I have to hold this in. My finish is not sticking. But here is my finish. I stitched this on 40 count Crypt Cloth by Lap and Loops. And I changed the color palette from fall to summer. I just pulled some colors that I thought were very summery In the chart, this is supposed to be a pumpkin. I turned it into a tomato. I loved the strawberries. You know, last month was the Strawberry Moon Sal. I was having so much fun stitching strawberries. In the chart, there is like a little blackbird here. I took the blackbird out and I just used these little bee charms that I had in my stash. And I think it turned out really cute. I trimmed it around the edges here with some Lady Dot Creates chenille, and I put it in this little tart pan that I got on Amazon. I am having a little bit of an issue with it not staying. You know, because this is one of those no stick tart pans, so literally nothing's sticking to it like glue. I did do a tart finish for my friend Michelle Lee Quilts, earlier in the year, and it was sticking very well. I think I just used Aleene's tacky glue, and as far as I know, it's still intact. I don't know, Michelle, you'll have to tell me otherwise. But I did use the Aleene's tacky glue on here, and it's just, let me take this out. So it has this metal part, and you can see the glue in here, that goes into the tart pan, you know, because if you're using this to actually make food, you want to be able to pop that out. But I have not found a way to get this to stick inside of here. I tried E6000, I tried hot glue, that did not work at all. And I tried the Aleene's tacky glue, and it's just not sticking. So that's okay. I mean, I have it sitting, you know, on a flat surface. So, you know, as long as no one picks it up and like flings it or anything, we should be fine. But there's my finish. I think is so cute. Several people have asked me about my color conversion. I did not post my color conversion on Instagram simply because some of the colors I used were like special editions, so they're not readily available. But you know, if you wanted to change it, I just picked some summery colors, things that I thought looked good. And you know, if you do want my color conversion, you can ask me, but just be aware that not all of the colors will be available. Oh, before I get into my new starts and everything, I wanted to mention, I'll go ahead and do it now. I wanted to mention that Crazy Annie Stitchin', she reached out to me and told me about a new club that they have called the Winter Forest Snowglobe Club. And series, I guess I should say. It's a 6-part series. It's designed by Tiny Modernist, and each month you get a different snow globe ornament stitch featuring a different animal. And so she asked if I would mind sharing that with all of you, and I was like, yeah, sure. So she sent me the first chart, and she sent me a chart for one of you to give away. And so let me share that with you. So this is the first release in the 6-part Snow Globe series by Tiny Modernist. We have an adorable little penguin here. I do believe, yes, it is all charted in DMC. The stitch count is 69 by 76. So it is a nice size for an ornament finish. So I am going to, down below in the description box, I'm going to link the sign up for you. I'll post that in the description. I wanted to point out, since the first release has come out, if you do choose to sign up for the series and you want the first chart, on that sign-in page or that sign-up page, you want to fill out the information. You're able to just purchase the pattern. It is not available in PDF. You can only get the paper copy. You can also choose to add the flosses to your order. You can choose to add fabric to your order. Or like I said, you can just do the pattern and, you know, kit it up yourself. But if you are joining after July 1st, which if you're using my link, you are, you will want to scroll down all the way to the bottom before you submit your order, and you have the option to add on any previously released patterns. So if you want the penguin, you'll want to make sure you go down and include that in your order as well. So it also came with this adorable little sticker, which is going to be perfect for my planner. And there we go. So, yeah, I'm just making sure I don't miss anything. So there will be 5 more in the series. Like I said, different animals each time, and just a cute little snow globe scene. And I have another one to give away to one of you. It also comes with a sticker as well. So if you would like a chance to win the first in the 6-part series, just use the word snow globe in your comment. One word, snow globe. Use the word snow globe in your comment, and I will choose a winner to announce in my next video, and I will send this to you. I would prefer that you are a subscriber to my channel. Please make sure you're 18 or older, because I do have to ask for your address, and please make sure you live in the US. There we go. And of course, when I get the next one, I'll be showing that to you, and of course doing another giveaway for that. Okay, let's get back to my stitching. I have a new start that I want to show you. Let me show you the pattern because I got it as a PDF. Here we are. It is called Mushroom Meadow from Stitchy Princess. I got it on Etsy. It is so cute. We've got, it's hard for me to see from there. We've got a couple adorable little squirrels playing on the mushrooms here. Well, I don't know if those are squirrels because that looks like a squirrel up there. I don't know. Mice. I think they're mice. There we go. Got a beautiful owl up there in the tree. And of course, all the mushrooms. Perfect. I decided to purchase a few of the patterns from Stitchy Princess. She is a Ukrainian designer. And as you know, there has been a lot of unrest and destruction in that area of the world. And so it's nice to be able to support her and her design business and purchase her patterns. So of course, as soon as I bought this, I had to start it. And here is my start. I started in the left-hand corner. Got one little mushroom up in the corner here. Got my owl. I'm stitching this on my favorite fabric, Grandpa Sleeve, 40 count Grandpa Sleeve by XJU Design. And there's my start. I am using all the called for DMC, but I did change 2 of the colors. The mushroom colors that are called for were more of like an orangey, rusty color, and I wanted my mushrooms to be a little more red, and so I changed the 2 mushroom colors to 377 and 3830. That was the only change I made, and you can see those colors here. Otherwise, I'm using all of the other called for DMC, and it's a great start so far. I love it. That was my new start. I hadn't started anything new since May, so this was my first new start in a while. All right, and I'm keeping that. Oh, I can't wait to show this to you. I'm keeping that in a beautiful project folder that I got from Thomasina at Pause to Stitch on Etsy. Pause 2, the number 2, Stitch. I will link her shop below. She's on Etsy and Instagram. I had actually asked her to make a couple of custom folders for myself and my friend Sarah, Handmade by Sarah W, on Etsy, or not Etsy, Instagram and YouTube, because Sarah had a birthday at the beginning of the month. So I chose these fabrics, and Thomasina just outdid herself. She did a fantastic job. We've got a couple of vinyl pockets on the inside. It's just so well made. It's nice and firm. I love the lace detail here, and her sewing is just perfect. So I was really excited to get this. I had gotten a couple of project folders, a couple of her smaller project folders when I went to Steel City Stitchers in 2024. I met Thomasina there. She was selling some of her project folders. I got a couple of her small ones. Let me show them to you. And so when I went to Steel City Stitchers this year, she wasn't there, and I was so bummed. But here are the ones that I already owned. Oops. These are the smaller sized ones. Got my Bigfoot one. I bought these for Sarah and I. So we have matching ones. And then I also got this one. Little Alice in Wonderland teacup theme. So yeah, so Thomasina was so gracious and agreed to make these for us, and they are just perfect. Got the little strawberries, the mushrooms, little acorns, pine cones. So I was super excited to give this to Sarah because I really wanted to use mine. And so now we have matching project folders. All right, let me put this away. And that was my new start. Now I have a restart. So something that was previously started that I have started again. If you have watched me before, you know I'm a restarter. If I'm not liking something on the fabric I'm using or the floss, but I really like the design, I have no problems restarting. So let me show you my original start. I had started this back in 2021. This is a free chart. Let me show you the chart first. This is a free chart from Forest Embroidery. Okay, here it is. Sorry. Free chart from Forest Embroidery called Alice in Wonderland. Can you believe that is free? Several people have asked me about it. If you go to Forest Embroidery online, there is a tab for free charts, and you can find this one in there. So, like I said, I started this in 2021. I was using all of the Forest variegated flosses that they sell. And this was my start. So you can see I got not a lot, but I got a substantial amount done. I was stitching this on a 32 count straw by Weeks Dye Works, 2/2 using the, like I said, the variegated Forest threads. The reason for my restart, because this looks fantastic, it looks beautiful, but the reason for my restart is that I had not touched this since 2021. Because since 2021, I have discovered that I really enjoy stitching on higher count fabrics, preferably like a 40 or a 46 count, because I love using one strand of floss. I just think my stitches look tidier that way. And so even though I had put so much time into this and it looks great, I wanted to restart it. And so I kind of been going back and forth for years, basically, like, oh, what should I do? And I was finally like, you know what? Let's just restart it because you haven't touched it. Obviously, you're not going to. So I went ahead and restarted, and I did a color conversion. The Forest threads are gorgeous. They're very variegated though, and my preference is I like something with a little less variegation. I know some people think I'm crazy for changing my flosses, but you know, this is a craft where we can all choose what makes us happy, whether that be a certain fabric count, whether that be certain flosses. And so I'm doing what makes me happy. I'm doing what makes me want to pick this up and work on it. Sorry, I've got a dog hair on here. So I pulled this out and restarted it. Just put it on my board here so you can see it. I restarted it on a 40 count in the color Careless Khaki. I got it in the Roxy Floss Co. Fabric of the Month. Well, it's not really Fabric of the Month. I get it like every other month or so. Anyway, here's my restart. So as you can see, I don't have as much done on the restart, but it's a restart. Here are my flosses. Oh, you can see I went for a very colorful palette. I wanted to kind of punch up those colors a little bit, have a little less variegation in the flosses, and I really like the colors I've chosen. It is kind of a mishmash of different flosses. Let me just look here. I've got some Cottage Garden threads. I've got some Weeks Dye Works, Roxy Floss, DMC, Gentle Arts, Color and Cotton, Classic Colorworks, Forbidden Fiber Co. So literally I just went through my stash and pulled from here and there and everywhere and pulled a palette that I really thought worked well for this piece. Some people have asked me to share my color palette. I'm not going to do that yet. simply for the reason that I haven't used all of the colors in the chart yet, and I would feel bad if I gave you a color conversion and then change the colors. Already I had to change this green the other day. I started with a different green and it just wasn't working out for me, and so I changed that. And so I want to be able to finalize my color palette before I share it. So hopefully that's okay with everybody, because I just wouldn't want to share something and then change it and then, you know. So there we are. I'm going to show you, I'm going to give you a little bit closer look at the bunny, the white rabbit. He's so handsome. And I just like this so much. I love the tiny stitches on the 40 count. I love stitching with one strand of floss, and I think I will be much happier with this. And I think I will, sorry, I feel like I have dog hair. I feel like I'll definitely want to pick this up now that I have a restart on this. You know, I have had some comments about like about changing the floss and, you know, the count of fabric that I use. And I just kind of want to say, like, when we're stitching, it's literally all about personal preference. You know, if you like stitching on 40 count, go for it. Some people say, oh, you know, I want to try 40 count, but I can't see it, or you know, you've inspired me to try 40 count. I'm not trying to inspire anyone to do anything. I want to inspire all of you to stitch on what you like. If you like stitching on higher counts, awesome. If you like stitching on lower counts, if you like stitching on Ada, that's awesome. Stitch on what you want to stitch with, however many strands of floss you want to stitch with, whatever looks good to you. And you know, if you want to change your flosses, you're not changing the integrity of the design. Most designers that I have heard talk on this issue love when people change the colors and personalize it to their preferences. So, you know, it's all about using our creativity. I'm never going to be a designer of patterns. I'm not that creative, but I do get to flex my creative muscles when I choose the fabric that I like, and if I want to change the flosses, you know. So it's all about creativity, all about making it our own, and that's all personal preference. We're not all going to have the same preferences, and that's what makes it awesome. Okay, so that was my restart. Let's get to my whips. All right, and I'm keeping that in a bag that I made back in 2021 when I first started this with some fabric I had gotten at Joann. It's a vinyl front. I love it. Okay. Let me get that put away. All right, let's get to my whips. I've worked on several things since my whip parade. So everything you're seeing has been worked on since the whip parade. So even though that was just a week ago, all of this has progress since then. All right, the next one I want to show you, I also have that one on my iPad here. I am an iPad stitcher. It helps me be able to see the pattern when I can blow it up and look at it a little more closely. I am stitching, here it is, Rose Hill Farm Sampler by Stacy Nash. I'm stitching this with my friend Sarah that I mentioned before, and our friend Michelle, who is Michelle Lee Quilts. And there is the design. This was a market release this year. Love that big red barn. I'm stitching mine on 40 count Dead Sea Scroll by Seraphim Fabrics. And I'm using all of the called for Weeks Dye Works floss. And here is my progress. I love it. Since I've seen you last, I believe I finished up this row of alphabet. I added this row of alphabets. I added the chimneys onto the barn. I added this tree over here. And I think that's it. So that is my progress. I really need to start working on the border. There are flowers all along this border, and I don't love stitching borders, so I really need to make sure I don't save that for last. So I need to stop doing all the fun stuff in here, and I need to start working on my border. So there's my progress. I love this so much, and I love stitching this with my friends and seeing their progress. Michelle and I were stitching on it together at the retreat recently. So there we go. And speaking of Michelle, I have this in a bag made by Michelle. Her shop is called Michelle Lee Quilts on Etsy. That's also how you can find her on Instagram. There we go. And that's where I keep that project. Okay. Next, this next one is one that I had not touched in a long time, since I had started it actually. And pulling it out and showing it at my whip parade really made me want to work on this some more. It was a little diamond in the rough that I'd forgotten was there. And so the chart I'm talking about is Remember Me by Teresa Kogut. I'm stitching this all in DMC. It's called for all DMC, except there is one Weeks Dye Works and one Classic Color Works that are called for. I went ahead and just pulled all the DMCs. So there is the pattern. When this you see, remember me. It's gorgeous. And here is where I'm at. So since you've seen it last, I have added the roof. I think I just filled in the roof, and I added more of these little motifs within the house, and I started filling in one of the windows with that lighter floss. So not a whole lot of progress, but I do want to get back to this and work on it because this is just beautiful. I've seen other people stitching it. I know that the Seattle stitcher is working on this one, Megan. She changed her house to blue. It's gorgeous. And so I really wanted to get back to this one. I am stitching this, I forgot to mention. I'm stitching this on 46 count Thornfield by Needle and Flax. Okay. And here are all the DMC colors. Very pretty. All right. I love variegated floss, but I also love DMC. I'm like really rediscovering my love of DMC lately. As evidenced in this next project. Oh, I forgot to show my bag. Isn't this fantastic? I just got this recently from my mom. Her shop is Painted Leaf Co. on Etsy and Instagram. I think this is probably one of my all-time favorites. This is Tilda fabric. It is fantastic, and I'm keeping that special project in there. A special bag for a special project, right? Okay, so I was talking about DMC. Let's talk about 100 Owls. This is also by Forest Embroidery. It's also another free chart. It's gorgeous. I started this one back in 2021 as well. Again, stitching on a 32 count, 2 strands over 2. And then I just didn't want to work on it anymore because I like stitching on the higher counts. So I know I've showed this before, but I know I have some new subscribers. So from my original start, I went ahead and just, that was all I had done. So I went ahead and just did this as a finish in a hoop, and I have it hanging on my wall. You can see I was using the variegated Owl Forest threads. It looks fantastic on this fabric. I don't remember what the fabric is, I apologize. But I didn't want to stitch on 32 count anymore with 2 strands. So I had restarted this last year on a different fabric. I'll show you that restart. So I restarted this on this fabric. This is 40 count Pistachio by Atomic Ranch. And I really liked the look of stitching 1 over 2 on the 40. But for me, the variegated Owl Forest threads, I should have clipped this, sorry, just kind of got lost a little bit, especially like in this green up here. It got lost a little bit because this fabric is very mottled. And so recently I was like, I wonder what that would look like in DMC. So I pulled a DMC conversion. They do provide a DMC conversion, although I did change a few of the colors, just to colors I thought I liked better. And this is my third start of it. And there it is. I think those DMC colors really pop on this fabric. I think with something so mottled like this, the DMC is really the way to go, in my opinion. So yeah, since you saw it on my whip parade, I have added this owl. I had this one and this here. I added this owl and I came down and started this circular vine. That's actually this. And so I'm very pleased with the third iteration of this pattern. One day I'll get it done. But yeah, like I said, that's just an example there of, you know, how DMC is just perfect for some patterns. Some patterns really, you know, look great with the variegated, and this one for me, especially with this fabric choice, DMC was the way to go. I know some people are scandalized by that. But you know, I'm the one stitching it. I'm the only one who needs to like it, right? Let's see. I'm keeping this in another beautiful bag from Painted Leaf Co. This was one that my mom had made several years ago. I thought it was perfect, you know, because owls. So that's where my 100 owls is staying. And hopefully I'll have some more progress on that for you soon. I love this pattern, and now I'm really excited with my choices. Okay, next. Oh, this next one. I love all of these. So, you know, I'm excited every time I pull the next one out. This next one is one that I'm stitching with my friend Sarah. Handmade by Sarah W. And this is a stitch along from the Just Cross Stitch magazine. Let me pull the chart up on my iPad here. I appreciate you being patient while I find these. Like I said, I stitch from my iPad now, so. All right. So this is a 4-season mystery stitch along. Started with spring. Summer has since been released as well. Sarah's actually stitching on summer. I'm still working on spring. The whole design has been revealed at this point, and it's fantastic. But I started with spring, and I'm making good progress. So let me show you what I've got. Again, another pattern with all DMC. It looks fantastic. Look at that. I'm stitching this on the called for, which is Into the Veil by Bee Stitch Me. And I just love all the little tiny details. Look at this little bee. Look at his little back stitched wing. The butterflies are fantastic. I'm excited. There's a bird's nest that goes down here, so I'm excited to get that in. I love the little mushrooms. So yeah, that is my start on that. I would really like to get to summer while it's still summer, so I'll keep plugging away on this. I just love it. Did I say the fabric? I forget. This is a 46 count Into the Veil by Bee Stitch Me. Into the Veil is the called for fabric for this one. There we go. I love it. And does this bag look familiar? It's the same, except this pattern is bigger. But these are both by Painted Leaf Co. This is a more recent bag that my mom made with this fabric because she knows I love this fabric. She loves this fabric. So I thought it was perfect for Nature's Journey. Okay. And look at the flosses. They're so vibrant, so beautiful. All DMC. Gorgeous. Okay. I have 3 more to show you. All right, just making sure I put everything back in here. All right, 3 more to show you. This next one is Spring Sampler Fragment by Shakespeare's Peddler. This was a market release this year. I'm stitching it on the called for fabric, which is Dark Soil by XG Design. And I'm using all of the called for, all of the called for Weeks Dye Works flosses. There it is. I'm sure it doesn't look too incredibly different than the last time you saw it, but I did extend this border all the way across. This is where it ends. And I did extend this little line of stitching here all the way to the end. So I'm really excited to get down here. I know I've said this before. I'm really excited to get down here to the house and the little nest and stuff, but I'm trying to do the other stuff first so I don't do all the fun stuff and get bored. I do want to come back down here and get the rest of the border across here before and do the rest of the alphabet before I do any of that. So I'm plugging away on it. This is one of those, because it's on the dark fabric, I can only work on it during the daytime because it's hard to see. But there's that one. Now on the same piece of fabric, I'm just gonna flip it over. I have another whip, also by Shakespeare's Peddler, also a recent market release. This one is called Hope. And it's also called for on Dark Soil by XG Design. Oh, this one, my gosh, I love this one so much. Those reds get me every time. I'm using all the called for colors again. They are all, let me look at the pattern. They're Classic Colorworks. It's a mix of Classic Colorworks, Gentle Arts, and Weeks Dye Works. So all the called for so far. You can see I'm starting with the border and the things on the outside, and then I'll move to the inside there. That's going to be a lot of stitching. It says hope, the balm of human life soothes every misfortune. And that's where I'm at. I love it so much. I love these little tiny tomatoes along the border here, and that red barn and the red house. It just looks fantastic on this fabric. So, you know, speaking of the spring sampler fragment, there is a summer sampler fragment that I have and I want to stitch as well, also on this fabric. And I'm assuming there's going to be a winter and a fall. So hopefully I have enough of this fabric, but I think I might have to get some more. But it's great. It's 40 count Dark Soil. I'm keeping that in a bag from my sister's shop. My sister also has a shop on Etsy. She also makes bags. Her shop is called Pepper Pot Shop. And I'm keeping that in this beautiful bee bag. I will link the shops down below for my mom and my sister and Michelle Lee so that you can go check out their shops and support their businesses. Okay, make sure I get everything put away. Okay, and then one more. Oh, I love this one so much. I love all of them. But this one I've been like really working on in the last couple of days. This is a pattern by Birds of a Feather. It was actually an out of print pattern, but Sherry from Colorado Cross Stitcher has the rights to rechart and publish these designs again. And I'm so glad because I really love Birds of a Feather. So the chart I'm talking about is Happy Hearts Sampler by Birds of a Feather. I was so excited when she released this. I've loved this one for a long time. And this is another one I'm stitching with Sarah. And I think we started on Valentine's Day, if I'm not mistaken, Valentine's Day of this year. I'm using all of the called for floss. I think it's all Weeks Dye Works. Yeah, it's all Weeks Dye Works, and I'm stitching it on a 40 count fabric from Roxy Floss in the color Cove. And that is my progress. It looks great. I'm also stitching this with my friends Edith and Jean. They showed me at StitchCon that they were working on it as well. So I was like, cool. That just, you know, when my friends are working on things that I also have as whips, it just motivates me. My friend Sarah was just talking about this in her video. You know, stitching with friends just motivates me to want to pull things out and get some more work on them. You know, so like when I see Sarah's progress on things and you know, my other friends, I just want to get it out and work on it. But since you saw it last, I started on this little vine thing over here. I did add a letter G, but mostly I got this motif done. That was a lot of stitching. A lot of stitching in that. I am personalizing it as I go. So I have my initial and my husband's initial here. This is the year we were married. We've got an L for our last name up here. And then KMJ are the initials of my children's names. And you've got 3 flowers there for 3 kids. So I'm really enjoying personalizing it as I go. It looks so good. I still have a ways to go. Still got to finish all the alphabet, and there is this down here with the numbers down there. That's all solid stitching. That's going to take me a bit of time, but I'm loving my progress. It looks fantastic, and I'm just going to keep plugging away on it. It's gorgeous. Okay, and that's it. Shoot. I forgot to mention earlier, sorry, I was just looking at the giveaway. Oh, never mind, I did mention. I thought I forgot to tell you what word to use to enter the giveaway, but it was Snowglobe. I need to write that down so I don't forget it. Okay, sorry. All right, I feel like I'm off my game today. I feel like after the whip parade last week, I'm just like, ooh. I'm keeping my Happy Hearts sampler in this bag, also from Michelle Lee Quilts. And that's it. Okay, let me look at my notes, make sure I got everything. I don't know why I feel so out of practice this week, but here we are. Yeah, I believe that's it. So yes, don't forget, if you wanted to enter the giveaway, use the word Snowglobe, and don't use the words giveaway or win. That just attracts unwanted attention to the channel. And I want to make sure this goes to somebody who actually wants it and will stitch it. And of course, make sure you're a subscriber. If you have not subscribed to my channel yet, I would love for you to subscribe and leave me a comment down below and let me know what you're working on, or just say hi or whatever. Okay, I'm going to stop. I'm going to say goodbye. I hope you all have a fantastic week, and I will talk to you soon. Bye.